Ayman Khan here for Seconds Out. Pleasure to be joined by, heavyweight contender, but I imagine you would have wanted to be introduced as the British heavyweight champion today, Jeamie TKV. Jeamie, how you feeling?
Feeling good, man. You know what? People saw, people reacted, and I believe we're going to get the results that we want.
Let's rewind before we get to the moment that ended the fight. How did you feel the fight was going?
I felt I was cruising it. I was winning. I felt like I was up on all the. I was winning. I was winning all the rounds pretty much, and it was going to continue that way. But I was going to start turning it up. Look, it was a 12-round fight. I had a strategy of doing what I was doing, and it was working out. Like we had a game plan. It was going to plan. It was just going to plan, yeah.
Were you surprised by the success that you were having in the sense of wanting maybe or thinking more would come back from David?
No, I wasn't surprised by the success that I was having, but I was surprised that he wasn't throwing enough. I thought he would have like threw a bit more, but yeah, that's it really.
Okay, well, let's get into that moment. What's your recollection of what happened first? What do you remember of how it went down?
Pretty much, like I said before, we both made mistakes in the fight. Earlier on, he hit me on my back. The referee stopped it, but spoke to me, said, "Don't turn around, hit me on my back." He apologized. Um, Obviously, I tried to throw a shot and I kind of put it short. It doesn't really hit him. I try to pull it short, but that's what is being put out there. I was throwing the shot, but I realized, so I kind of pulled it short, right? You know, it didn't land fully, basically, if you put it that way. And obviously, I did apologize then. And then, but at that point, that's when the referee pulled me and said to me, if you do that again, if you throw a shot when I call break, I'm taking the point off. So knowing that this is a big fight, I'm not trying to get no point taken off. I'm trying to obey the referee. So now at the beginning of the sixth round, he comes in, we get in a clinch, but Adeleye has my left arm. But the referee's already talking to me saying, break, break. Then he pulls my arm. As you remember, as just said, when he said, he said, when I say break, make sure you step back and don't throw a punch. Yeah. So I made sure I was obeying the referee. And then obviously because he pulled my arm, I thought that was obviously going to be separated, which he should have came in between us. So obviously I had my arms to show him that I'm not the one holding. So I
Mm.
had my arms out. I thought was being separated. Then he threw a shot. It was like a flash. And then I was looking at the ref. I'm like, but I was just about to talk to you because as soon as I was about to turn, I got hit with a shot. So I didn't see it. Obviously got up, stumbled over my feet. He threw shots, but none of it was landing. If I'm honest with you, he missed most of the shots. You could watch it back yourself. Um, but then he kind of threw a shot, kind of pushed me forward. I was going to get up, but my team in the corner said, Jeamie, take your 8 count. Then told me when to get up. So I was listening to the corner, but then the referee waves it off. But I just feel like the referee got it wrong. Like the only options that were there, pretty much, maybe to disqualify him would have been a stretch, because obviously we're fighting, is the heat of the moment, so no disqualification. But the other options that could have happened were either give me time to recover, as you do, when there's a mistake or an accident happens, or um, let it go to technical decision. If one can't continue, it goes to technical decision. And the fact that it's gone over 4 rounds, it goes to the judges' scorecards. And as you know, I believe I was winning all the rounds. I definitely would have taken that on technical decision, and we possibly would have still had to go back for a rematch anyways.
Mm.
So nothing would have changed there. But yeah, that's what I remember. But that's what yeah.
Glad you mentioned about this, the possibility that maybe you could have had the 5 minutes to recover from that. I was discussing this with some of my colleagues. We were kind of saying, look, at heavyweight level, the punches that you're taking, those are big shots that you take. would it not have still been a factor in that fight, you taking that punch regardless of a 5 minutes recovery?
I kind of recovered quite quickly. I recovered quite quickly, so I would have been able to continue and still be fighting. But the only thing it would have done, it would have given Adeleye some confidence. But that would have been good for me because then he would have threw a lot of shots and then possibly tired out because I know how to ride shots. I got given a free shot, and in heavyweight boxing, it takes one shot to change the fight, and that's exactly what it was. It was a free shot, no defense, and I did not see it. And as they say, the shots that you don't see is the one that hurts you the most. So, yeah.
I've seen this argument as well, and David Adeleye put it out on Twitter or X. He said, "Protect yourself at all times." What's your response to that?
Yes, protect yourself at all times, but as they say, it's a recommendation. It's not a rule. But not only that, at that point, the referee did tell me, I believe they told him as well, but like in the change room, he even told us backstage, he's saying, when I say break, make sure you step back and do not throw a punch. He said that to me because we both made mistakes earlier on in that fight, and he repeated that. And he's saying, if it happens again, the point is going to get taken off. Yeah. So at that point, it wasn't protect yourself. It was the referee's breaking us and he's pulling my arm. So there was no sense of protect yourself at all times because we wasn't fighting at that point. We was in a clinch. Like they could say protect yourself at all times, but that wasn't the case. But I do understand that statement, but at that point, it wasn't the case.
That was the ref's second only British title fight as a referee. I think he's done some as a judge. I think he's reffed a number of Celtic and English double fights. Were you made aware before the fight with Adeleye of the ref's history?
Oh, not at all, but no one really, as boxers, we don't really look into the referees. We don't really, the referees are our last concerns, but we do know that we have to obey them in the ring and listen to their instructions. I believe that he was the right man for the job at the time because he was put there for a reason. So, he was put there. To be honest, he just got it wrong on the night. And for me, I trust the board to do the right thing. That's all.
So would you be open to having him as the referee in the rematch?
No. Then I won't have trust in just the fight in general. Like I won't have trust in the officiating of the fight if he was to be the referee again. To be honest, I don't think that mistake will happen again. They're gonna ensure that they have the right referee for this fight, and it will be a fair fight. Not saying it was unfair the first time, but I'm just saying that it will be fair to both me and David.
Is it correct that I saw in a number of interviews that Barry Smith did afterwards, I believe it was with the Stomping Ground, the ref denied any wrongdoing and then later admitted that it was the wrong decision made? Was that what happened?
Yeah, but I guess it was the heat of the moment. He was obviously not trying to get in trouble, but it was the heat of the moment. He obviously in the heat of the moment, if someone's shouting at you, probably getting onto you, you're going to say, no, I never did that. You know what I'm saying? Defend yourself. So that's exactly what the referee did. He defended himself. You can't really blame him. He had to defend himself. You would defend yourself if someone's blaming you for something until it's proven otherwise. So
I would take accountability, actually, I would say.
Okay, sorry, maybe not you, but some people would. Okay, yeah, some people would. So he defended himself, but he probably realized that he did make the mistake. He's probably aware right now. So yeah.
There was a contention from Adeleye that you had something on your body that was causing a sting to his eye. I believe he spoke to Box Nation and suggested maybe there was a balm on your body which had to be rubbed off you in between rounds. What was the situation there?
I've never. Do you know what? I was actually very, very confused when I was hearing that. I was like, what? I was so confused. And then the referee came over. So his corner kept calling over the referee, telling him stuff. Just, I don't know, there was on to the referee. Then at one point, when I got up, the referee came and smelled my glove. I'm like, what's going on? He smelled nothing. And he said, wipe me down. So I assumed that maybe I had Vaseline on my body, or maybe it's my sweat. But the only thing that was on my body was my sweat. So he wiped me down, but it was only my sweat on my body. I don't know what he was talking about. There was, because if I had that on me, he could smell it. The referee came over and smelled it. And if he smelled something dodgy, if he smelled something on me, saw something on me, he would have stopped that contest and found out if I was doing anything dodgy. But for me, that was very weird. I was thinking, where's that coming from? You know, I'm not sure if it was his own sweat going into his own eyes, which is a possibility too. But I've just never heard that one before. And they were talking about Barry not wanting no one in the change room or whatnot. But Barry and Adam Booth spoke, and Adam Booth said, well, I heard, don't take my word for it, but I heard Adam Booth suggested that it's okay. No one has to come over from the other team to look at the hand wraps and stuff and whatnot. But you gotta remember, this is a title fight. There's always someone from the board overlooking everything that's being done.
Mm-hmm.
So you were not there alone. The only person I was missing was probably someone from his team, and the only person missing in their changing room was someone from my team. So there was always someone overlooking what was happening in that change room, overlooking the wraps. There was nothing dodgy happening. So I don't know where that's coming from, what excuse that is. But yeah, it's just very confusing. That's all.
David has said openly, like, he's open to having that rematch. Let's get it done next. Have you spoken to David yourself personally since the fight?
No, I haven't spoken to him. No.
Okay, and there's an inquest happening tomorrow with the British Boxing Board of Control surrounding the fight. Look, if you had this your way, what would be the ideal outcome for you?
Definitely. Look, I'm not going to say too much about it, but I believe that the board will do the right thing. I believe in the board, and they are going to do the right thing. There's not much to say.
Is the DQ the ideal outcome for you?
To be honest, like I said, a disqualification might have been a bit harsh, just because it was the heat of the moment. I believe, like I said, there was only two other options which should have happened at that point, and I still stand by it. But we'll see what the board comes up with.
Okay, Jeamie, that's about the extent of my questions. Is there anything more further you'd like to say on the matter? A message to David, a message to your trainers who've been going back and forth on social media? Anything you'd like to say about the fight?
Just thank you to everyone supporting. That's what I really want to say. Thank you for the love shown, and yeah, we go again.
Jeamie, pleasure. Looking forward to seeing you back in the ring very soon. Thank you so much for speaking to Seconds Out, and we'll catch up very soon.
Thank you. Take care.
Good man.